My customer means everything to me, and I don't say that lightly. The 25 by J. David's label is, quite frankly, the most important thing I've ever done in my life. I have a client who is the CFO of Nestle, and he's been a client of mine for many years, and his son, David Stroud, I had known since he was a little kid, and he would come in the store with his dad when his dad was buying clothes. And back in 2008, I had a brain aneurysm that burst. I was given a 2% chance of survival. I had 35 hours of brain surgery. And right exactly at that same time, Dan Stroud's son, David Stroud, Christian kid, basketball player, awesome athlete, school loved him. He was just the ultimate guy. And he was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. And as I was coming back after a year or so after my surgeries, and I had to use a walker, and he would walk in the store and with his dad, and sometimes he's pulling his oxygen tank, and I was bald like a cue ball on half my head, and he'd walk in the door and I'd say, "Man, you look like crap." And he'd go, "Oh, you look like crap." And we just kind of bonded through our illness. And so to take that story towards the end, I had gotten a message from his dad that he was back down at Children's Hospital with end of life. And I knew how big of a basketball fan he was, so I sent an email to Blake Griffin, who's another client of ours with the Clippers. "Hey Blake, I know everybody wants a piece of you, and I hate to ask a personal favor, but here's the situation. If you would have any time to just make a phone call, it would just mean everything, to him and his family." My cell phone rings and it's Blake. "Hey Dave, it's Blake. I'm in Oklahoma right now, but I'm flying back into town tonight. I could meet you at Children's Hospital tomorrow." And Blake Griffin went there and spent 3 hours in that room and had stories and just playing around and joking with them and hamming it up. And it was just the best thing. As Blake and I were leaving the hospital room, David gave me a hug and he said, "I just don't want to be forgotten." And so 2 days later, I think it was 2 or 3 days later, I was driving home on the freeway and I had this idea, because David loved to dress. I had this idea of doing a clothing line in his honor, and he loved the idea. And so the 25 by J. David's was born right then. And the 25 was his basketball number. His favorite color is lime green, so it's a lime green 25. We now have 25 by J. David's sport cologne, hats, our clothing line. We have a new clothing line coming out. All of our custom clothing comes with 25 by J. David's labels. He did pass away, but that story, it'll be with me for the rest of my life.